Hey everybody, Michael Waddell here for another edition of Outdoor Bites. Chris and Casey Keefer,
How are you, man?
gentlemen.
How you doing, man?
Man, hey, so glad to see y'all in civilization, man. Electricity,
It's unusual.
heat and air. I know
It's
it.
unusual, right?
Bathrooms over here, running water. It feels good.
I know it. Most time I see you guys, like, man, let me just see how tough and what kind of elements I can put myself in, you know?
Can you smell me from there?
Exactly. And you smell fresh, man. You got that nice detergent on your clothes and
30 days without a shower, man. That's kind of the norm.
Still got the big beard, but man, it's groomed nice, looks good.
I know,
Yeah.
right? Pretty.
Dude, man, it's so good to finally sit down and chat with you guys. We've had a chance to kind of run into each other and even work together on some stuff, on some commercials.
Yeah.
And I tell the story all the time. Somebody was asking me, like, what's your favorite thing to do? And I was like, man, it's really turkey season. And I love turkey season. As a matter of fact, first time I met the Keefer brothers, we were in Michigan shooting a commercial.
Oh, yeah.
And I was whining like the whole time, like, man, I can't believe we're doing this during turkey season. And I think it was you said, hey, well, let's go turkey hunting in the morning. We got plenty of time before we need to shoot it. Of course, y'all producing and directing the spot.
Yeah.
And then we all go out and knock down a couple turkeys. I didn't have a tag, but some friends of
Yeah,
yours did.
it was unbelievable, man. We killed 2 turkeys
Two
that morning.
turkeys.
And I think you guys, it was Hosey was there, Nate
Hosey,
Hosey was
yeah.
there as well. But we were just saying, like, that was one of the most incredible turkey hunts because it was unreal. I mean,
Listen, when you guys started calling between you and Hosey, I started strutting. You guys started calling, like, ooh, here we go.
I
right?
took my call and went right back in, and I was like, I'm just going to sit back and watch this happen. Like, that
Oh,
was
it was
incredible.
so fun. And that was my first time really ever, hunting a turkey in Michigan. So that
Well,
was really fun.
they're really tough, like those Georgia birds.
No, them jokers were working, man. I remember we set up and I thought, this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
We're not just going to see them. I think we're going to tote these out.
Oh, yeah.
It
We
was
shot
unreal.
one and then actually stood up, celebrated, and then shot a second one.
That's exactly
I
right.
mean, it was unbelievable.
Just reconfiguring.
And I think there was 10 of us total in the field.
Dude, it was a posse. I do remember that.
The whole commercial shoot was in the field, hanging. It was a real tree. It was everybody was against the tree. It was
That
amazing.
was fun,
Yeah.
man.
My,
That was-
so my first time hunting birds down south was down in Georgia, and I learned a trick from old Philip Culpepper that I had
Yeah.
never seen before.
Yeah.
When we sat down to hunt this bird, I'm like, what do you want me to do with this decoy? He's like, put it in your lap.
Yeah.
I'm like, huh? He's like, just stick it right between your legs.
Put it in your legs.
and sit here. I'm like, boy, they do things different down here.
It's unbelievable, man. And that Philip is funny. I know y'all buddies with Philip.
Yeah.
He'll be calling me in January. Hey, man, you hearing any yet? Like, hearing what? Like, I hadn't heard.
I saw him. He posted something the other day. He's like, it's coming. It's coming. It's months away. He's like,
As soon as this snow
winter
melts,
is coming. I'm
these
like,
turkeys are going to start
yeah, he
gobbling.
loves it. Yeah.
Well, man, there's so much to talk about, but so much respect for what you guys have done. Not only you took a different angle and brought a whole nother vibe and kind of culture. I'm a big fan of that Alone.
Yeah.
But you guys did it where, in reality, way before Alone did it, y'all were getting dropped and
Yep.
kind of living off the land and trying to hunt. And obviously, y'all grew up there in Michigan.
Yep.
I mean, everybody hunts and fishes in Michigan.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
you're like a weirdo if you don't. It
Yeah,
seems
it's,
like,
actually, you're on the outside.
Yep.
And so anyway, just been a big fan of what y'all have done, and even production. A lot of people know this, but a lot of the viewers who watch, they see you as personalities on these shows, and they don't realize it seems to me a lot of your passion is not just the hunt, but just the production and the storylines,
Yeah.
That's where Dropped was born. We set out to just go tell a story in the middle of nowhere in a way that we love. And whatever happened, happened. Like, we were just going to tell the story. So,
Right.
And I think we've carried that through into a lot of projects, commercial stuff that we've worked together on. I mean, telling the story is
Yes.
why we do this.
Well, now for sure, I mean, the creative thoughts that y'all have, that's kind of what, there's a lot of hunters in the industry. But to be honest, there's not a lot of really unbelievable, crazy creative minds. Now, some people might disagree with me.
Yeah.
But that was the first thing that kind of hit me with you guys. Like, man, these guys, they're young, they're ambitious, they're not afraid of work. But man, y'all's mind, it was like a carnival, man. Y'all was always thinking, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, because obviously y'all can say it, but my perspective was, these guys aren't satisfied with just a hunting show. It's like, we love to hunt, but this is a story. This is entertainment. This is something more than just, a good old boy taking a bow and arrow and going to shoot
Yeah, I
a
think
deer.
we've always looked at, like, we love hunting. It's ingrained in us, man. It's like, I mean, it's such an amazing sport we get to participate in. We love it. It's fun. We have fun while we're doing it, but we did always want to bring a story to it.
Yes.
Like, we're storytellers at heart. We just wanted to bring the story and, like, how it unfolded. Going to Alaska, that's nothing new. I mean, people go on 20, 15-day hunts in Alaska all the time, but that was always in past days, it was an episode versus a series. And it's because we just wanted to show what happens, you know, and just really let people into that. And it resonated. And I can't believe it, but this is the 10-year anniversary of Dropped, which is like, I can't believe that. Like, where did that go that fast? Like 10 years is gone, but we've been blessed to do it. It's been incredible.
I look back and I think probably the coolest thing about telling that story is at the time when Drop came out, how many people reached out to us, and for a number of seasons consecutively, that were like, man, I could never get my wife to watch a TV show for a hunting show with me.
Absolutely.
Ever. And now I got my wife and my kids and we all sit down because it was more than just the hunt, you know? And for us, that was the purpose, is we wanted people to see the full story, I guess.
It is, and that is the best compliment you can get. Like when you have somebody that's not really intrigued with necessarily, well, this is a scrape and this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get in a tree stand 20 foot above, you know, look for a north wind to blow in our face. You know, it's sometimes the technicality and the tactical approach that might be intriguing to us to learn to maybe mom at home or the young lady who's, you know, maybe watching Outdoor Channel for the first time with her boyfriend or husband, or maybe it's her that's watching it with, you know, her man who don't hunt.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you could tell you guys took a conscious effort to think of them too. You know, and so, you know, where y'all, the production, the cinematography, the story, I don't know, the realism. I always was a big fan from the first time I seen some of y'all's production. And I remember it's like when y'all first stepped into it, like, dude, thank God, man, we need more solid, unbelievable production and creative
And I'll never
minds.
forget, there's a video that we did. This is like our first, this is probably 15 years ago, dude. And we couldn't get noticed. We were trying to get in the industry, maybe 17 years ago now.
A long time.
But it was one of the big optics company used to have a big award show. And we did our first ever video where we welded the binoculars to our faces in the video. And it was like 30 minutes of a doctor welding, and we put that thing together, and everybody had submitted their highlight reels, and we submitted that.
No way.
And that day they showed it at the thing, and one of the guys came up and they're like, you had to put $1 million in that. We're like, man, if we had $1 million, we wouldn't put it into that. I tell you that, right? I'd be buying farms. I would not be putting into that. I'm like, no, we did that on a Friday at a doctor's office. We rented out in town. Like, it was just that much fun for us to do the production side of it. And that's really what got it noticed and got the ball spinning.
Well, and the thing with Drop too is like, if the tactics and the technical side isn't enough to get somebody to watch, then maybe one of us getting eaten by a grizzly is.
Yeah, exactly.
There's always that little element of danger.
Yeah, you heard
in
about
there.
them Keefer brothers.
Yeah.
Man, I can't watch that episode. But, man.
Just keep rolling.
Y'all know that Treadwell story, they did the same thing.
The same thing.
I think they did get air in him, though.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
Well, I hate to
exactly.
spoil the ending of the upcoming season, but I made it out.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
made
we're
it
here.
out.
So sorry if you're watching this season.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm here.
I got two questions. It kind of goes hand in hand. I mean, for me, what was it that got y'all into hunting and that first memories of hunting and really production? Because it seemed like, you know, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's almost like immediately as you started hunting, you was thinking about immediately, where did that excitement of being around production? Because I've been to y'all's, studio.
Yep.
It's amazing, man. And you can
Thank
tell
you.
y'all have a lot of passion for the right equipment, the right crew, the right staff, and you combine that with hunting. So when was that first start that y'all knew that this is what I wanted to do?
Yeah.
I think from the hunting side, I mean, we grew up with it, right?
Right.
Dad and grandpa, and just like everybody else, like we were in it from the time we were knee high to a grasshopper. So
Right.
there was no getting out of that.
That
But
was a lot. That was the
it.
culture that you were
That was
raised
it,
in.
yeah.
Rabbit hunting was our first, like rabbit hunting with beagles and dogs and doing our thing and, eating lunch at the back of a Jeep Wagoneer and just like out at, like that's what we grew up with. So that was ingrained in us from the very beginning.
I always used to tell my parents, like, I'm going to do one of two things for a living. I'm either going to hunt or play hockey. It's literally the only two things I'm any good at. So
Yeah, and
so that
y'all were
was it.
both like crazy hockey players. I heard that
Oh, yeah.
y'all could.
Oh, yeah.
Man, of course, we don't have any ice in Georgia, so we don't get to see hockey a lot. I mean, we get to watch it on TV, but y'all can throw a stick for sure.
It's ingrained in us for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, I missed a lot of hunting seasons because of hockey growing
of
up.
hockey.
So when hockey ended for us, or at least for me, it was like, all right, I'm gonna make up for all those seasons I missed, and I'm gonna start hunting and more and more and more, and then ended up guiding in a roundabout way in a lot of different areas, and had an opportunity to guide a guy that had a TV show at the time that was like, hey, if I ever got a hunt I can't do, would you do it? And we're like, sure. So we went and did some wild and crazy Adak Island adventure for like 14 days and filmed it ourselves. And I think right then and there is when, that's where it was born for us because we were both at the time guiding, not ready for the real world, you know.
So that the production and that part of it came around that time.
Yeah, I graduated with kind of a background in graphics, and I always loved the graphics side of things. But yeah, I think from a guiding perspective, it was a side hustle. If you would guide and film your guy coming in, and then you'd be like, man, for a little extra cash on the side, I'll edit something for you. And you know, it was like a little side hustle. And at the time, you know, the videos, the Monster Bucks, and all these amazing things were out. And it was like, that was so incredible to watch. And so it was a side hustle that turned into a TV show came, and we're like, wow. And then it just, we fell in love with it. And then it just started to spin. And then the level that we wanted, that's when we really met our partner, Jason Brown. And he's like a pioneer when it came to that in the industry at that time. And so many shows he developed. And that, the three of us just clicked. And once that happened, we just kept going.
We tried following in the footsteps of this little thing called road trips.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're, if you're familiar with that.
I don't know if you know that, but it did set the bar. So.
Yeah.
I tell you, man, it really does. Those type of compliments mean so much, especially coming from you guys who have just took it to a whole nother level and some of the stuff y'all doing. And in reality, you know, it's so much fun. And that's what's so much fun about sitting here and getting to know each other more and talking about, you know, heck, really our successes and our defeats. But overall, man, it's kind of all in it together, man. We all inspire each other, you know, because there's a lot of things that we see, even our crew was like, dude, I like that. And you know, there's
something there.
Producer or camera behind the scenes, like, I see what they did there. We need to do this. And just the whole aspect of how we all got the same, we all have these same things in common, that we love hunting and fishing, the outdoors, but we kind of take our production down different lanes. And I just have a lot of respect for you guys, man. And it was so good to be able to sit down and chat. The Keefer brothers,
it's great
man.
seeing you, man. Great seeing you.
Man, y'all, we can't let them get eaten by a bear, though.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Only one wolf attack, but we got rid of that.
And it does look like a good diet plan. Like
it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. I don't recommend starvation, but it's good. I mean, it works.
Exactly, it works.
Usually every year about August 1, my wife's like, so, when's Alaska? It's coming up here pretty quick.
Comes in looking like Chris Farley. Everybody, we're going to Alaska.
Down by the river.
Y'all check it out, man. Drop the Keefer brothers. We certainly hope you enjoyed Outdoor Bites with me, Michael Waddell. Thank y'all for watching.